Good morning, everybody. My name is Marta, and I've got Arnold with me. We are very excited to show you the integration between CliDash. It is a AI-powered CRM specifically built for independent financial advisors, and Commspace, a revenue solution that a lot of you have heard of. So today is not a Commspace demonstration. If you are very keen for that, please send me a message or find us on our webpage, and I'll gladly take you through Commspace. Today is all about CliDash, the CRM. We're very excited to have Arnold with us. He's the CEO and founder of CliDash. He's going to show us the ins and outs of CliDash, and then I'm going to show you the integration between CliDash and Commspace, or actually we'll do that together. So we're very excited about our integration. It's the very first bi-directional integration for Commspace with a CRM, which means when you load your information on CliDash, it automatically pushes that master of data, that client, the ID number, the provider, the product number, even the split agreement, the product category to Commspace, so you don't have to link it in both systems. But the bi-directional integration means that if you're in a rush and you need to complete your month end and you want to link something in Commspace, you can do so. And that will automatically then push that information to CliDash. And then both systems are in sync. So that's exciting. And we're very glad that that's as far as it is. Yeah, but that's all I have to say. I'm going to give over to Arnold now. Thanks, Arnold.
Thank you, Martha, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Arnold. I'm the co-founder and CEO of CliDash, and I'd just love to show you today what we've got, what we can do to help your firm, and all the functionalities that we have. And then, of course, the really nice integration we have with Commspace that we're really proud of and that we work really hard to do. Bit of background, we're specifically built from the ground up to actually enable AI in your practice, but we're not just doing it for the sake of it. We are actually a full-blown CRM with AI sprinkled in as a base layer where you can actually do some of your work with it, but it doesn't replace you as the advice giver or as the person that is actually the one who has the knowledge and expertise. So to jump right in, I'll quickly share my screen and show you what CliDash is all about. So you can see my screen. And then it is, let's start. Just a bit of background on what CliDash is. We're a web-based dashboard where you can access your firm and what your entire practice's data from anywhere, but we're also really uniquely actually a mobile application. So you can download us on the App Store and the Google Play Store and use us from anywhere. And that just makes your life way better. You don't have to get to the office to actually create a task for someone to do. You can do it straight from your phone, straight after a meeting. So let's do a bit of high level talk. We do firstly your practice management and then your client information management. So to start off, I'll talk about your practice management, and that's in the form of our task management system. So when you open up your dashboard, you're greeted immediately with what your personal outstanding tasks are. And these are tasks that your team might have created for you or that you created for yourself. Creating a new task is really simple. You just click create task. And now you've got a lot of nice inputs to actually create the task. You can type the task title. The status will be awaiting action before the person marks it as in progress. The priority can be set. You choose who it should be assigned to. It can be yourself. And we also allow for repeating tasks. Then you can type in the description, and the client that the task is applicable on can also be linked so that the task can fall under the client's profile. And then lastly, here on the right-hand side, we've got a really nice convenient place to make any comments or notes as you progress with the task. And going into one of these already created tasks, you can quite easily see how useful it is. You've got all the stuff filled in, the task title, what you should do, the status. When you are done with the task, you simply mark it as completed and you save it, and it will disappear from your outstanding tasks. It's a really nice way to just manage your practice. You can send tasks back and forth, but we don't stop there. I talked about the way that we actually help you do your work faster with AI. And that's where this button comes in at the bottom left. It's called Ask AI Assistant about this task. So by clicking this, it does something really cool. it actually opens up an AI assistant where the client's information is dragged in and the task that you're asking about. And that task includes the comments that you've made historically. The more comments you make, the more information there is, the better the AI can actually assist you. And now you can go and really ask it anything. You can say, please help me brainstorm what I should do next with this task, right? It's really nice to help you summarize a large piece of information. If you've been working on this task for a while, you're coming back to it, it can really help you speed up and get you back in the flow of working on it. And it gives you a nice response. The AI is actually built on a GPT 5.4 model, but it's our own hosted model in the EU, so that it's actually POPI compliant. It's strict data compliance, and there's no training happening on that data actually. And yeah, you can also tell it to please write me an email to the client to finish this task. It's really good in writing emails as well, like you're used to, but it actually has the context to write those emails really nicely. You also are able to write your AI writing preferences so that it writes according to your own style. Yeah, and now that you've got the email, it really is as simple as just clicking export email, and then it opens it up in a draft email on Outlook or Gmail, whichever you're using. And the client's information is already filled in, the subject is filled in, and your message body is here. And it's really as simple as just sending it off. Yeah, I hope that's really cool. And yeah, that's all with our task management. You can quickly view your team members' tasks if someone is going on leave or you need to fill in. It's really simple to collaborate. And I'll talk a bit later about our workflows, which also automate your task management really nicely. Okay, so then secondly, our second leg is your client information management. We are a full CRM where you can manage and save all your clients and manage your conversations and your interactions with them. So that brings us to your client screen. Here you can see just a really nice overview of your client database. You can see some nice statistics on them, and you can quite easily view more statistics on our full statistics dashboard. And it gives you a nice breakdown of the age brackets, the genders, it gives you insights on the products you have on your clients, the categories of those products, and you can easily export these stats as an Excel spreadsheet as well. To add a client is really simple. You just click Add Client here at the top, and here we've got a really nice form where you can fill in the client's details that you do want to save. We allow for custom fields in your practice, so you can really customize this form to your liking, to what you want to save for a client. Clients are also really nicely grouped into families if you're doing advice like that, and you can save contact information, addresses, and products, which I'll show now with the help of Marta. And further than that, you obviously have access to see your full client list right here. It's a really nice way to actually just search any client. You can type their ID number, their email address, or their phone number and search them like that. Now, obviously, you're probably coming from one of your older CRMs, some of the legacy systems, and you might want to start a new leaf with CliDash. And we fully enable that. We make that process as seamless as possible. We enable a full free of charge data import from your old CRM system to our system so that on day one, when you use our system, your client list will be fully here and saved, and you can just carry on as if it's another day in the office. Yeah. Okay, now let's actually go to one of the clients' screen. I think let's go to Barry Brian. So now we can see actually the full power of our CRM. You can see a full page literally with every piece of information we have on the client. We've got their personal details that we filled in when onboarding them. We see their family structure right here. We can see all their products coming from Commspace. And we can see if you do have Seed Analytics, we also pull in the portfolio information from Seed Analytics. We also show you the contact information on the client, the addresses, and then any recent documents you added. You can view your client's full documents folder right here, client's documents. And then right here, you can see a nice list of each folder and what the files are in that folder. And it's easy to actually also add a new file right here. You just upload it, but you can also actually choose to share that document in one swoop to the client as well. So you upload it here, but the client will also get an email that you want to share the document to them, and they can then access that document through a secure link, and they fill in their ID number as well to gain access. And then similarly, you can actually say you want to request a document from a client. So that leaves an empty folder right here in the client's documents. And the client then also gets an email where they can upload the document into that folder. And then that file will live right here straight automatically into the client's folder. So we really try and make your document management easier for your clients. Then here on the right-hand side, you can see all the bits and pieces that you have on the client. So for example, you can see all the tasks that you've historically done. You can click on it to view the historical details on that task that you did. Then a lot of people these days record their online meetings, and we integrate with all of the most popular meeting recording tools, like Read AI, Fathom, Fireflies, and many more. And you can actually then easily see all your online meetings that you've held historically. You can view the summaries of that meeting. You can go back, get reminded of what was said with the client and when you met. We also allow you to easily make any notes right here. And then our really cool functionality is that we can draw in all the emails that you've ever sent or received to the client directly from Outlook. This is really powerful, and we enable this on our Pro package. Okay, so now obviously we've got loads of information on the client. And if you're using our system, it also really nicely actually builds up year on year, and you get a really nice full picture of the client. So now we've got this really cool button, Ask AI about this client. If we click on this, it does something really cool. It opens up our AI assistant, but it draws in all the information on file for the client. So their personal information, their products, meetings, emails, tasks, notes, and portfolios. And we've got a few really nice saved prompt suggestions that you can now run on this large piece of data, or you can just use this as a starting point for any other conversation. You can say, I am meeting the client later today. Give me a nice rundown of the client. And the AI is really good at actually drilling down into the finer details of each of these blocks of data. And it gives you a response as you would expect. And it gives you a nice snapshot. It talks about the active and open tasks, what insurance products they have, what investments they have. And that's all coming from the data saved in our CRM. You can also ask it to actually tell you about possible business opportunities, what it might suggest you could suggest to the client. And it's a really nice engine to actually use. Cool. So that's basically all on the client screen. But I think, Marta, we should talk a bit about this really nice integration and how we get the products in from Commspace.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arnold. So I am going to share my screen. And what I'm going to show you now is Commspace. And we're now on the statements tab, which means this is where all the commission statements that come into Commspace live, the revenue statements. And you can see that there's one line item that's not linked. Okay, so I'm going to show you what's in that commission statement or in that revenue statement. So there's two line items. Jerry Maguire and Eben Etzebeth. Both of them are unlinked or not linked, which means it needs more information. It needs to be linked to client, ID number, company number, trust number, the provider, the product number, the product category ideally, and it can also have the split agreement. Okay, so and if it has all that information, this status will be linked. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link one. I'm going to link Eben Etzebeth inside Commspace, and then Arnold's going to show you how that is received. So let's do that. So I am going to add this client. Let's just get everything out of the way here. So add client, and I say, yeah, I'll accept that one, that ID number. Then it'll say, okay, what is the agreement, because the product category, it could derive from the commission statement. So I say advisor one, it's a 70-30 split, and I save it. Now this line item is linked because I've given it all the information. If you were doing it inside your own Commspace at your desk and you were system generate an ID number, great, it'll link and it'll automatically then send that information to CliDash. In CliDash, you can then override that system generated ID number with a real ID number, and that will then push back to Commspace. So, which is exciting. It's always going to be stay in sync. Okay. So I've now linked this even Exhibit. You can see that Jerry Maguire at the moment is not linked with inside Commspace. So Arnold's going to show us how you received even Exhibit. And then he's going to link Jerry Maguire on his side. And I'm going to show you how that then shows as linked on my side.
Nice. Thank you, Martha. So it's super cool. Like Martha just showed, if there's any change actually happening on Commspace, but you're linked to CliDash and the integration is turned on, it literally will pull in and save the information on CliDash as well. So you will never miss a client, you will never miss a product, and that product and client will always show on CliDash. So the way that works is that any change happening on Commspace will immediately, after any change happening on Commspace, we will overnight check where there's any discrepancy between clients on Commspace and clients on CliDash, and then we will move any of those clients from Commspace onto CliDash as well. So let me share my screen and show you how that would work. So when you are, so Martha just added Irmin Etzebeth on her system on CliDash, no, sorry, on Commspace. And now, let's say the nightly sync has happened. I just did it manually. We can now actually go into our client list, and it wasn't here before, we can actually go and search for Irmin Etzebeth, and voila, he is here now on our client list. We didn't manually add him. He actually came straight from Commspace. His ID number comes from Commspace, and the product has also come from Commspace as well. So that product detail that Martha chose, including the commission split agreement, also reflects right here on CliDash. And the really cool thing now is that we can even go and edit that product. And any edits we do here now will actually go back into Commspace because they are linked. So you can change, let's say perhaps the product number was filled incorrectly, you can change it and fix it, or you can edit the product category. And then really nicely, if you're an admin user, you can also go ahead and change the agreement straight from CliDash, and it will reflect again on Commspace. So the two are exactly in sync, exactly linked, and you can do what you want to do on Commspace or CliDash, and they will reflect on one another. And I think a really nice way of actually demonstrating that is if I quickly go and I create another client actually here on CliDash. We will create Jerry Maguire, and then we will see live how it actually goes back into Commspace. So let's create Jerry Maguire. We'll add him. Client first name is Jerry. Client surname will be Maguire. Then the client ID, we can type in right here. ID number, we type in the ID. And then we can quickly add his product as well. So we just scroll a bit down to the product section, and we can add straight here quickly the product from Commspace. So what's also really nice is this product list that we show you to choose from is actually the same product, the product provider list coming from Commspace. So it is almost the exact same experience. So
I think it's an
Martha,
it's an Alan Gray.
Alan Gray.
Yeah.
Cool. Product number, that's his ID, sorry. Product number, we type in there. Product category, we can select as investment, perhaps. And then we can add an agreement even. So we'll choose, let's say, advisor 3, effective date. We can choose as the 4th of April. And the agreement has now been added. And then lastly, just the inception date. We'll make the inception date the 1st of March. Or actually, let's rather also make it the 4th of April. They are the correct. Yeah, and it's as simple as that. You just click save now, and we've got our client added here. And now to actually just add it, we just click save client right here. We need to enter all required fields, and I believe I just forgot to select the main advisor. So we'll say, yeah, Mike Ross, he's our main advisor, and we can now save it. So now the cool thing is that this client has now been added. We can search for Jerry Maguire, and we can actually see his details that we added, his products. And now, Martha, I will send it back to you, and you can show how it looks back on Commspace.
Wonderful. Thank you, Arnold. Okay, so let me share again my screen. And there we go. And I will just refresh my tab. And then this Jerry Maguire. Well, let's see. Not linked as a prompt. And there it says now it is linked. So let's have a look at this product. And we say, yes, Jerry Maguire. And he's got that split agreement valid from the 1st of April.
Yes.
Yeah, that was that. And I want to show actually let me just go here. Then we can see what the product is. And we said it was an investment. And the inception date is the 4th of April. Wonderful. Exciting.
Nice.
And then, I mean, obviously, as Arnold said, if anything were to change, I mean, if I decide now, no, it's not an investment, it needs to be a retirement annuity or whatever, I change it here and it will update on CliDash and vice versa. Exciting. Back to you, Arnold.
Thank you, Martha. Yeah, that's super cool. It's really nice to just make sure your data is actually in sync. There's one source of truth, and it's just nice to actually know that they are connected. The Commspace integration also goes further than just that. We also allow you to actually, and this is really cool, your advisors, even though they don't maybe have a Commspace login necessarily, they can still draw their Commspace reports directly from CliDash, which and you can choose what you allow them to draw. So they can draw just their own report. If you're an admin, you can draw a report of all your advisors, but let's draw Amanda Ross's report. We'll draw her commission breakdown. And then we can choose the from date. Let's choose the 1st of January. Or let's go a bit back. Let's choose the 1st of October 2025 as a starting date, and the to date will be the 23rd of June. And then we just click generate report. It now goes, we call the API of Commspace, and it takes roughly 10 to 15 seconds, and then you will get a full PDF report of that commission breakdown straight from Commspace. So you can also talk to Commspace to actually set up your custom reports. And if you do want to have them pull through to CliDash, just pop, I think it's integrations at Commspace, a email, and they will assist you in actually getting those integration, the commission reports into CliDash. So we can see it just downloaded it. And if we now open it, it's, well, yeah, super cool. It's your product commission report straight from Commspace that you can draw actually from CliDash. Okay. And then
Arnold, I just want to check. You can run those in Excel out of CliDash also now. It doesn't only need to have a PDF or
yes.
Yeah, great.
You can choose format. Yeah.
Good.
Format can be a CSV or Excel.
Awesome.
File.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then third and lastly, the last point on our integration with Commspace is that we also are trying really hard with the collaboration of Commspace to keep your client data clean. And the problem sometimes is that advisors go ahead and they type in a slightly incorrect ID number, or maybe they use that generate ID button because they don't yet have the client ID on record, but then they might forget to go back and fill it in. So sometimes there will be duplicate clients from Commspace and also on CliDash. And then we are really, really trying to solve that issue. And we provide you with a very, very handy tool called duplicates right here. So what that does is it runs through your entire client database and it detects where there might be actually duplicate clients. And that is super powerful. We try and detect where the ID number might be just one digit off, where the name might be the same or slightly similar, or where there might be duplicate products even. And what's really cool about that is you can see right here, it actually detected that the last digit of these two ID numbers are just slightly off. And that's probably because the advisors typed it in slightly incorrectly. That caused the duplicate clients. There are now two clients on CliDash as well as on Commspace. But to solve this is literally just a click of a button. You just click compare and merge. It now tells you if there are any pieces of information that are conflicting between the two records. You can choose and decide which one is the correct one. So you can choose the client category. For the one client is marked as C, but for this client it's A. We believe it's an A client, and we select it. And then we can, same for the main advisor. Okay, the main advisor actually Michael Smith. And we can just resolve any issues. They usually are just one, which is probably just the ID number. We see that the one ending with 3 is the correct one. And then we can just click continue to confirm. And it then also says you can merge the clients. And by clicking merge clients, it merges them and saves them into one record on CliDash, but immediately it will also save them into one record on Commspace. So the two systems really talk to one another, and it takes just a few minutes to actually make your entire client database clean going forward forever. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Martha. I think that's all on the Commspace side. We really try and make the two systems work together. And as you saw today, we've got the best integration out there, both and it's their first bidirectional integration, actually. Okay, then we'll quickly show you a few of our last functionalities in our program. We have got a really cool, we talked about the client screen. Just quickly on that, we also allow you to send a intake link. So that's literally just a really nice link that you can send to the client, where it allows them to fill in their client details for you to onboard them. And if you set up branding for your company, your logo will also appear here as well as your company name, and this form will be the colors of your company. The client can fill it in, and then they will be onboarded automatically. So you don't need to manually add their details right here. Okay, and that's all on our client screen. Then we can move on to our meetings screen. This is just a really nice historical view of all your meetings that you've recorded, and which is coming in automatically from your online meeting recording tools, like Fireflies, for example. And we also allow, let's say it's an in-person meeting, you can actually click record meeting straight from CliDash and record the in-person meeting, either from the phone or from your iPhone app or your Android app. And that's really handy why you might want to download our app as well. You can see historical meetings summaries. And what's also really, really cool is that actually after a meeting, we suggest to you any tasks that you can consider turning into actual tasks. So we detect who is responsible for that in your firm, and then you can just click create task. The AI then goes and turns that suggestion into an actual task. It filled in each field, and it even selects the correct due date, what it finds reasonable, and it marks the subject as well. It also writes in a description, selects the client, and the type and subtype is also selected. So it's a really nice way to actually speed up your workflow after a meeting. Then moving on, we've got our workflow screen. So we talked at length at the start about our tasks, and it's really nice and simple to create a single task. But sometimes, and you've experienced it, there's actually a large process which might be a few multiple tasks which should happen one after another. A good example, for example, is a client onboarding. And that might be a whole range of different tasks that need to happen one after another. And it might not be effective to just create one task, which is onboarding client. So rather split that into multiple subtasks, and that's where our workflows come in. It's really simple to just create a new workflow template. And this workflow, the system that you build, can be reapplied to a client time and time again and to all of your clients. So let's start a new, just quickly to show you, you just say new workflow to create a new template. You name it perhaps client onboarding. Then you can go ahead and add your first task. Then you type in the title of that task. So this might be set up initial meeting with client, for example. Then you choose who should be responsible for that in your firm. And when it gets to this task, it will appear in this person's outstanding tasks. You can also actually rather assign it by role, and then you can choose whether it's the generic advisor or generic assistant who should do it. And then it will decide according to who is listed as the advisor and assistant on that client, will automatically decide. And yeah, let's choose a specific person to do this. Emily Taylor, our assistant, will do that. And then we can click create. Our first task is now added, and you can really just continue adding tasks. Just as an example, I'll say task 2, and then David Brown will do that. We can create it again, and we connect them by just clicking right here. So they are now connected, and they will happen one after another. Emily Taylor will get the first one in her outstanding tasks, and David Brown will get the second one. We can even add another one. We'll call it just task 3, whatever that would be in your firm, and we create, and we can continue building it out. We also allow, if you really want to be fancy, we allow you to actually create a branch. So instead of clicking this one as a previous task, the middle one can be the previous task. And now they are connected in parallel. And you can see this is a OR branch. And that means that when David Brown finishes task 2, it will decide and ask him what should happen next, task 3 or task 4. Yeah, it's really not that complicated. We help you in our training when you sign up to actually get this right. And then you've got a really nice list of your workflows that you can easily start on any one of your clients. And then it will automatically create the tasks for you in your outstanding tasks and in whoever should be responsible for them. Okay, moving on. Our first screen is our AI chat screen. You can here really nicely see a list of all your historical AI chats and what you said, what you asked, and you can go back, continue asking, or you can start a new chat directly from here by asking about a specific client or a specific email or a specific task. You can continue adding in context. You can even add a husband and wife both as context for your chat, and then you can start asking. Okay. Then under our documents functionality right here, we allow you to easily and very efficiently generate documents. So this is like your classic document merging program, but we give it to you in-house. So a lot of people have got a lot of Word documents that they need to fill in with client details. For example, you might have a record of advice Word template that you need to copy and paste client details back and forth into to actually fill it out. But we say rather add it as a template in our system, and then you can merge clients into it going forward without needing to copy and paste all the time. So you just simply say add template right here. You give it a name. So this might be our record of advice template. Then it tells you exactly what you need to do, but it's really simply that you just need to open up your Word document, and then you just put the placeholders into the Word document, and you just copy and paste it into it where you'd like the client details to be filled in, depending on which client you select. So you just copy and paste it in, and then once you're done, you just upload that Word document. And you can click create. So that Word document contains all your placeholders for the information. So we allow you to fill in the advisor name, the preferred phone number of the client, the first name, the surname, any other related stuff like whether they have gap cover or Allen Gray, the Allen Gray products, for example. And then after your placeholders are in and you uploaded that Word document, it's always going to be a template right here. And now to actually fill it in with your client's details, you just click generate. You select which client you want to generate it for. And then you can select the meetings. You can drag in any extra context that you would like to include in the record of advice. So our AI actually goes ahead and reads through your meeting with the client, and then also uses that to draft the fields in the AI, in the record of advice. And after you're done, you just click generate document. It takes roughly 10 to 15 seconds as well, and then it will draft and pop out the full Word document that you're used to using in your practice, but actually already filled in with all the fields that's necessary. Just go ahead and read it through. And then let's open this up. And it went ahead and it filled in the advisor name, the date of advice, the advisor email, the client's full name, the ID number of the client, the date of birth, the contact details, the email address. And then it will even go ahead, and if there's any applicable information, it might even go and fill in the details right here. So it saves hours upon hours if you compound it, and then you can just make any few alterations before actually just saving it as a PDF and sending it to the client. Okay, our document request stream, this just shows you any pending document requests that you might have created and the client hasn't yet filled in. And you can also directly from here create a document request. The client will then, as I said previously, get an email telling them that you're requesting a document, and they can then upload it on the link in the email. Celebrations, we give you a really nice view of all your celebrations of your clients. We show you when they are having their birthdays, what their phone number is. You can go in and actually view the client. And coming really soon, we're actually going to allow you to send automatic emails to these clients if you'd like to. Okay, I talked at length about the duplications of clients, and we fixed that. And then we are really, our whole company philosophy is that we don't want to try and be everything to no one. We'd rather just be a really, really good CRM to everyone, but then integrate with other tools that are doing the job better than us. So that's why we try and do as many integrations as we can. And this is our integration stream. We integrate with a lot of meeting recording tools. If you use any of these, you can automatically have your online meetings pull into our system. We also integrate with Microsoft 365 to enable you to view your emails in our system. And this draws in the emails directly from Outlook to or from the client. And this is included in our Pro package. And then we also integrate with Commspace. That's why you all are here. And then we also integrate with KYCDD. They are a really nice due diligence and KYC software that you can use to do your FICA checks if you'd like. And then we also integrate with Seed Analytics, and that draws in your portfolio information from them. To all the admin users out there, we allow you to also view some really nice analytics on your tasks and how it's being done. So this is quite a new feature that we've launched and we're rolling it out. And you can actually see right here how many tasks have been done in the firm, how many are overdue, then by team member, how many tasks they are doing, what the overdue ratio is, and then what type of distribution of tasks they are doing. So it gives you a really nice way of actually just seeing what's going on in the practice and where people might be overworked or need assistance. And it's just a nice way to keep track of everything. The very last thing that we also allow for you to do, but I see it's not turned on in this practice, but we allow you to actually, under the celebrations, we've got a really nice email campaign functionality. And it's exactly like, for example, a MailChimp or a SendGrid it just sends bulk emails, newsletters, or bulk communication to your clients, and you can filter by which clients you want to have it sent to. So, for example, you can just send it to your medical aid clients or to your life cover clients, and send out really nice communication to them. Yeah. Then to all the admins out there, on your admin screen, you've got full control of your firm and your data. You can add any new team members. You can restrict or relax your security posture, to have auto sign-outs, you can really configure a lot of stuff there. You can add custom client fields, and then you can also upload the branding settings to what your company's branding is. So you can choose your company colors, the company logo, and that will reflect in all your emails to the client and also in your client portal and your client onboarding link. And yeah, that is everything we have. Please do ask questions. And actually, the very important thing that I should invest, people always ask, is our pricing. So you can just go to clidash.com. You can read here a lot about our company, what integrations we have. You can even see a quick demo video by me. You can see what functionalities we have. And then our pricing is we offer two very competitive rates. We offer a standard package, which is 850 Rand per user per month. And that includes literally everything you saw today, only except for the email campaigns and the Microsoft Outlook integration. And those two things are just a bit more cost prohibitive for us to provide. But if you do want to have them included, we also offer still a very competitive rate of 1,100 Rand per month per user. And you can also mix and match these two licenses in your team. For example, you might want to have just the advisor's emails be able to pull in, or them to be able to send email campaigns. And if you liked what you saw today, please do read up about what we stand for as a team and go to our contact us screen, and you can easily book a demo to actually just personally talk to me or one of our team members, and to maybe ask any questions, drill down into any details, or to talk about how we can actually help you onboard onto our system. There are not that many demo spots left, and you can really easily just look at also next month or this week, and please do book them. We'd really like to help you onboard your firm. Marta, I think that's all. I think we have got
Thank you
time
so
for